Hey guys, it's Robj here, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you an update on my weaver ants. I've seen a lot of you asking about them. Just to let you know before we get into the video that this is sponsored by Ant Keeping Depot. So, I have been asked quite a few times now how my weaver ants getting on, and the answer to that is very well. The reason that I haven't brought them to the channel for so long is because they're actually expecting a setup upgrade very soon. But that got a little bit delayed, so I'm just waiting for it to release. And it's going to be made by Wakushi, and it's going to be vertical in design. So a boreal species like weaver ants will be able to have a choice. My plan is to give it a soil layer, and it's going to have some hanging air plants, some air grasses, lots of slate, different rocks, some woods, rotten and cork, so it can't rot, and that's generally why you haven't seen them. I'm waiting for them to release that, as its release date got pushed back. But I thought, seeing somebody wants to know about them, how are they getting on, are they okay? I thought we would do this little interim update on them, and as you can see, they are quite happy and are absolutely fine. Their growth has slowed down due to the time of year, but there hasn't been a worker die off for months, really, and then it was one or two previously, so we're not losing numbers at all in this quieter time of the year for the ants. They're doing rather well. It's just I'm not happy with their enclosure. Yes, it's fine for them for now, but this was always designed as a stopgap measure, so I could get them into something more specialised, or just something that could actually be decorated and more suitable. I want to give them a more naturalistic setup, not totally, but more naturalistic. I wanted to give them the option to burrow down, or to live above. But either way, I wanted them to be able to go climb to get the food, and that's not actually been the case. Now, if you're wondering, because there's always somebody that will mention it, the condensation, it means I've watered it too much. This always happens with the amount of heating that they get. I couldn't add a drip, a tiny drip would cause this sort of condensation, because their heating is pretty much on 24/7 due to the colder temperatures that I'm getting where I live. So their heating is on all the time. You add any sort of moisture into a highly heated area, so there's no avoiding it, it's not overwatering. This happens pretty much for the few days after a water top up, and then it just dissipates and clears, and then I wait for the humidity levels to drop just a tad under recommended, and then I do it again. But the humidity levels might look super high, but they're actually within range, even with all that condensation. So I just thought I'd throw that in there, just to maybe prevent some of the comments about, oh, you've overwatered it. I would normally agree with you, but not this time. So, if you might have noticed, they did have a sand enclosure, and that was during the time where I really wanted to just decorate what they had, because it was annoying me. But they had the sand for like an hour, and it was blatantly clear that they weren't suited to it, they didn't like it, and it didn't suit them, and it was totally incorrect for the species, so I got rid of the sand. Nothing is better than something incorrect. They added about an hour before I totally removed it and started looking about bringing up their move into their better enclosure. But like I said, I'm just waiting for manufacturing to get round to it, and maybe I'll get mine a little bit earlier ahead of its official release on the shop. But I just gotta wait until it's next up on the cards. Currently they're working on all their heating accessories. After that, we should know more, to be honest, should know more. But the ants aren't dying off, they're eating well, they're having tons of fruit flies, they're drinking constantly, they have plenty of sugar waters, honey waters and ant nectars, even Wakushi's own brand, as well as even Biformica's brand. They have it all, and they're quite healthy. So I will bring you an update on these guys when they have their new enclosure, is the next time you'll see them. Thanks a lot guys, I hope this brought you up to date on why you haven't seen them, and I'll catch you in the next one.